Oh, man. Mr. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready.
Dude, let's do this. Guys, welcome to episode 97. Are you hearing me? 97, episode 97 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, tonight, listen, we got a new sponsor sponsor announcement. We have the guy that sold Cleetus the El Camino that he took on sick week. So we're going to get some history of the El Camino. We've got Red Hat Scotty, the dude, David and Keaton Maxon backstage right now. We were talking before the show. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about drag and drive all night long, but the reason those guys are on is to tell fun stories, obviously, and to talk about this floating index thing we're going to do at the Circuit 2025. So, Mr. Eric, please hit that intro video and let's do this thing.
All right, let's do it. We're going to pack things up and hit the road and try to make it the next day.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, welcome to episode 97 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. My name's Mike Narks. I'm the host of this and the news, which is everything drag and drive, man. We like to say we are the source for news and entertainment from the drag and drive community. And I'm telling you, it's going off, man. It's crazy. So, Mr. Eric White, my right-hand man over here, please introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of both the show and the news. Right-hand man, everything drag, drive, repeat. I got my hand in a little bit of everything with artwork and video intros and all that fun stuff. The Circuit, doing artwork for that, as well as other events in the community. And the little bit of time I have outside of drag, drive, repeat, I have my own channels, 815 LSX Swaps and Motorsports Paparazzi. So I'm a little bit everywhere.
Dude, all over the place and a busy guy. And I mean, like you like me, you have a family and you have a job. I don't have a job. That's all I do, man, right here. So
yeah, I have a job, but you've seen some videos of some stuff I was playing with at work lately, and that was a lot of fun.
Please tell me you're going to post that on Motorsports Paparazzi.
Yep, it'll get posted at some point.
Cool. I dig it. Well, you can't give that stuff away because we don't want everybody to see it. Well, guys, listen, hit the share button as we get into this, please. We want to start the show, obviously, thanking our race car friends. Yes, we can't do this without y'all. I don't know if you know that or not. I kind of love you guys. Eric loves you guys. You're what keeps this thing going. So do us a favor, hit the share button. But y'all listen, it was so awesome to see everybody at Sick Week. See a lot of friends at the U.S. Street Nats too, man. It was crazy to be down there and have all that much fun. And then thank you so much to our sponsors. We're going to be making an announcement here momentarily. But for folks that are watching this on YouTube, you're seeing the new sponsor on the screen right there. I'm not going to say it in this round. We'll say it in the rounds after this. But Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil. Deech Works is on board now. I'm so excited about that. Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classified. Y'all, if you are looking for car stuff, please go search these folks, see if there's something they offer to you as for your product, for your car as well. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our race car friends. And Summit being the title sponsor of our Drag Drive Repeat news and show and awards. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They feel your passion. They save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram And if you like podcasts like this one here, they have their own, which is On All Cylinders. You can find more automotive discussions over there as well. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. You can find everything on the app or on summitracing.com. Appreciate those guys. Have had some great conversations with Tommy and Jim the last couple of days, man. I'm so excited about this upcoming year. It's going to absolutely be crazy. Summit made a post, and I think they're right, dude. I watched not even 1 second of the Super Bowl, but I saw this, and the only reason I saw it was because my Facebook absolutely exploded. What the heck, man? Why is everybody losing their mind over? I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be a GNX, but dude, you can clearly see underneath they box it, so it has to be empty.
Yeah. My favorite post though was I think Jeremy Ortiz shared it, and it was all the car guys saying they're not watching the Super Bowl yet. This picture shows up all over Facebook.
Yeah, everybody making fun of oh yeah, I didn't watch a minute of it. Yep, right here. They saw this, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, I see everybody in here making comments. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. And just a reminder, while you're looking on summitracing.com or on the mobile app, just type in Drag Drive Repeat. You can grab you a t-shirt or a hoodie or the big brim hat that saved my neck from getting cooked while I was down at sick week. It's now in the top of my closet, just waiting on the next trip, man.
You bet.
Coming up. All right, let's talk about some Drag Drive Repeat updates if you want to go over this. This is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so we've been talking about we keep inching closer and closer to hitting that 10,000 followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it, across all of our platforms. 100,000. Sorry, yeah. We're almost to 100,000. Yep. But we are only 330 away from reaching 10,000 on YouTube. So that number there would put us over the 100,000 total. So yeah, pretty impressive. 10,000 is a huge feat on YouTube, and 100,000 total. It would be incredible as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to start breaking out the leggings and actually working on a car. That may help too.
Right.
Doing some driving instead of talking about it all the time. So close. 90. I just checked 96.70 exactly. So 330 away, man. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So if anybody's watching, share this with your friends. So yeah, invite them to our Drag and Drive community.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, y'all listen, I'm really excited about this. This is a big deal because as we build out the sponsors and all of the community that comes along with us showing you guys and talking about the Drag and Drive community, it comes down to how the sponsors can help interact with the community, how we help them introduce to more people, but then also, how they can help us understand a lot more. So, we've learned a ton from Eric Grillo at Molly Motorsports. We've learned a bunch. I mean, Ryan at Performabuilt tore down a transmission right here live on one of the shows, which is great. Same thing for Luke B at Howard's Cams. I mean, a lot of those people, Jay Wired, Jay Blanchard's been on a bunch talking about that. And so to have Deechworks on as our official fuel delivery sponsor of Drag Drive Repeat, this is a big deal because now we can it gives us an in to ask those questions where instead of just, okay, everybody's adding another, 255 pump on, now we can find out, well, hey, maybe there's a brushless 535 that would be better, or, an 810 in tank pump that would service a lot more than what we're having to kind of stitch together a bunch of different pumps. So this is going to be an opportunity for us to really learn a lot more. And, during the summer months, like when Mega Week is, fuel starvation or, hot fuel is a big problem, especially for guys with really big fuel pumps. And so maybe we can kind of get some ideas from Deechworks as we lead into these events that are coming up that are going to be taxing on fuel systems.
Yeah, this is going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
Again, we met with them at PRI. Super cool folks. Excited to have them on board. And for myself, building a Drag and Drive car, learning more about fuel delivery and what I need to build to reach the horsepower numbers I'm looking for. So,
yeah, And obviously, Eric's talking about the twin turbo LS Mustang. We've been down this route, man. I'm really excited. Going to go do some 10.0 racing and then make our way towards 850 stuff. So DeechWorks is a leading manufacturer of high performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pumps, pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus surge tanks, engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 2200 horsepower, which should cover 98% of the drag and drive community. Since its founding, DeechWorks has been committed to delivering quality, innovation, and precision to the automotive performance industry. Every product is built to maximize reliability and efficiency. I think that's important in drag and drive, right? Ensuring optimal fueling solutions for racers, tuners, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, DeechWorks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. This is a big deal. And you guys see in the bottom corner there, they are also offering a 10% discount as a way to say thank you to the community for being so awesome. And then also to kind of kick off our partnership together. So DDR10 for all the podcast listeners, if you're not watching this on YouTube or Facebook Live. So again, really excited about this. This is a big deal for us. It also is a big deal for you guys because, again, gives us a line right into fuel delivery and all that kind of stuff that I said a while ago.
You got it. Excited to have them on board. Thank you, DeechWorks.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about the circuit stuff because there's some updates coming there. The WhatsApp group is now live. If you guys are in the Circuit Racers group, I've got the link over there just because that's a private group. I didn't want to put it out to everybody. I'm going to try this. I had somebody message me earlier and say, hey, I can't get it to work. So if I continue to get that, I'll look into like a texting option, kind of like what SICK does, just because I don't know. I thought WhatsApp would maybe be an easier way to do this. We'll see. We'll know in a couple of days. If we can't get it figured out there, we'll know it. We'll know it next time. So WhatsApp, go to the Circuit Racers if you're racing in the Circuit 2025. That's where we're going to try and do like lane calls. We're going to talk through racer and needs. We're going to give updates and things like that through there. And then this is one of my favorite announcements we're going to make tonight. If you guys have been around Drag Week or any of the SICK events, you've seen this awesome family. Sean, Matt, and Tara Fling and their other son Michael are going to be our lane workers and just, I don't know, kind of everything. Matt is going to help in tech on Friday. Sean is going to help in tech on Friday. And then, Matt is probably one of the smartest dudes you'll ever meet. And so he's going to be helping with the lanes. He's going to be helping with everything. As we continue to make this event better, we need more experience. We need people that know what they're doing with large car counts. Again, this is the largest event we've ever hosted. And I think these guys are going to be awesome for it. They have a great attitude. They raced last year, so they have some buy-in. They know what this was like. And then you go back to all the fun stuff that we're going to be able to do with them. I can't wait. I can't wait. I hate that they're not racing this year and they're going to be working, but I mean, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. So, all right. And then, dude, you want to give us a countdown on days?
Just roughly 50 days away. How's that make you feel?
Dude, anxious, man. Very, very anxious. Very anxious. 50 days doesn't seem like enough. This is like when time kind of really ramps up with everything comes together in the next like 20 days. And then the last 30, we just panic about everything. We watch the weather every day and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
but don't worry. You got everything completed. We're all ready to go, right? Racer party, all 100%. That stuff.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. All right, man, lead us into some event updates, please, sir.
Absolutely. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, pushing limits in top field drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And you guys know drivenracingoil.com is a place to go to pick up your oil or any kind of merch, and you can follow them on social media at Driven Racing Oil, both on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. Hey, we've picked up a subscriber.
Hey, look at that. All right. And upcoming events, Hot Lap Challenge coming February 28th through March 2nd with the host track as State Capitol Raceway. So this one's going to be pretty exciting. We've talked about this a bunch. First time for those guys putting on an event with Bang Shift, but I feel like they already know how to put on an event, and I don't think they're going to have any issues having a good time there.
Yeah, that one's going to be a blast. That one is going to be a blast.
Yep. And then the Central Georgia Battle of the Streets, that's our one-day event, March 8th, and that is at Silver Dollar Motorsport. So, again, less than 30 days for that event.
Yeah, Kakalaki Run coming up. This is the next event on the Drag Drive World Champion Points Series collection. And I know there are some racers that were not at Sick Week that are going to be here. So if you are in the chase for the 850 or the 10-0 World Champion or the outright Drag Drive World Champion, Kakalaki Run needs to be on your list for sure. One, it's going to be great tracks. It's going to be run by a group of people that have done a ton of Drag and Drive. The Klausners have done a ton of Drag and Drive events, and I think this is going to be a blast, man. It's going to be a really, really good one.
Yep, for sure. And then next, Kakalaki Run again there. And then next up, we've got the Central Victorian Drag and Drive. This is coming end of March 27th through 29th. In Mildura, Australia. So this is one of their first events for the Australian group, as they've got a few events going on over there. And then, of course, like we mentioned, only 50 days away, the Circuit 2025, April 3rd through the 6th. Again, Tulsa Raceway Park, Mocan Dragway back to Tulsa. Gonna be a good time, only 50 days away.
50 days. I can't believe it, man. That's crazy. This right here, Road Trip Drag Challenge, round number 1. They do 3 events a year, and this is part of 8 events that are held in Australia this year. So April 11th through 13th. So we're stacking these things, man. What were the dates on? So March 24th through March 29th, Kakalaki Run, 27th through 29th for Central Victorian. The next weekend is the Circuit. The next weekend is Road Trip Drag Challenge back in Australia. And then the final event.
Yeah, we got a week off after Road Trip. And then we've got Carolina Drag Cruise, April 24th through 27th. Again, starting at Shadyside. So that's going to be another good one. Again, 1 week off there between that. So 3 weeks of Drag and Drive in April. Love it.
Bring it on. That's for sure. And it only ramps up from there. I mean, June is crazy. May's pretty light, but June it's over the top. It is over the top for sure. So thanks to Driven and the team over there. They are our event sponsors, and they are one of our brand sponsors. So you guys will see them on the Race Car Friends Waffle House or favorite restaurant t-shirt that shipped yesterday. So you guys will see those along the bottom. And Deechworks has signed up for the same, so they will be on the next round of shirts. I'm really excited about all of that. All right, J-Wire Solutions. Expert car care and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. This module allows your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like your stock daily driver does. This segment here is going to be kind of fun today. So we're gonna blast through this and then bring Kyle on after we get through 2 things. First up, I want to give a big shout out to our boy Jeremy Ortiz, Team Hybrid Racing on YouTube. Great video. New project car that dropped today at noon, actually. So if you haven't seen it, if you're not subscribed to his channel, please go over and do that as well. This sounds fun. I don't want to give it away. Did you watch it today, Eric?
I watched it long enough to see what it was, and then I had to get back to work.
Did you see what motor he's putting in it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him to do this. This is a new platform that's kind of gaining momentum. Engine
Yeah.
platform that's gaining momentum. The car platform has plenty of momentum. Lots of cool parts available for that thing. And how do you word that? Like, it has a long run of parts that are interchangeable. So a lot of
Yeah.
good parts can be swapped between different years and models. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what kind of car it is, but the engine's going to blow your mind. And it's
Yeah.
going to be a stick shift.
Yeah, I won't give it away what it is, but I did tell him on on YouTube that if he needed a trim ring for it to hit me up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Well, one other thing we want to talk about, I see him in here making comments, man. Appreciate him being here for sure. Oh, nope, we're not going to talk about that yet. That's coming up. Kyle, get ready. I see you down there backstage. We'll be talking about the El Camino in a minute. What I want to talk about is pass count at sick week. We know that it was a little light. That people didn't get to, I mean, they got to make one pass on Tuesday for day one. We know that, but that really got me thinking. And big shout out to Joe Haney, who said that he got 7 passes during the week. And he was mainly because he was working on his new truck. You know, they just finished it. They thrashed it to get it done. They were working on trying to get it into the, like, as fast as it could go for the week with no seat time or anything like that. And so it made me think, like, we've had a conversation with Jay Blanchard in the past about how few passes you can win a class with, right? So, Jay, and I know we've had that conversation with Jonathan Stonecipher about Greg Jones, because I think one week Greg made like 10 or 11 passes and won his class. And then the next year, same event, made like 11 passes in a day and ended up third.
Right.
So it really is, it's pretty tough. So, of course, I started, rabbit hole all of this. So I started going down the list of how many passes folks made, right? And I mainly focus on like the top 3 of classes that were typically pretty tight. So the first person I messaged was Jeff Russell. He placed second in the DYO class, which again is one of the hardest classes that's out there because you're trying to fit in this window. He only made 10 passes for the week, ended up in second. Thought that was pretty cool. Amber Matz ended up in third place in DYO with 11 passes. And it was she was in first going into day 5, but she said she just couldn't get it done back at South Georgia. So thought that was pretty crazy. 10, 11 passes isn't very many. The one that blew me away, though, was third place for Pro DYO. Raj Rovic from the Yukon only got 12 passes. Dude, that guy will make 12 passes in a day. And
Right.
he said, I'm used to getting 22 to 28 passes per event. So that kind of tells you, I mean, like, obviously we were working with more cars than we had ever seen, or at least seen in a long time. I think somebody said that there were a few more at one of the drag weeks, but, that's crazy. Azim Sheik replied back. He won Pro DYO. He did that with only 9 passes. So he did 1 pass on day 1, 1 pass on day 2, 3 passes on day 3, and then 2 passes on day 4 and 5 both.
And that's wild for the DYO, because those guys will make pass after pass trying to hit that number. So to be able to get first place with only 9 passes is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Matt Lampier in the Street Race 275 class, another, highly competitive class, 850 stuff. He took second place in that class, 14 passes. That's the most passes of anybody on this list. And I'm going to put out this article later, probably tomorrow, talking about how many passes and stuff like that people made. I'm still waiting on a few answers. Randy Seward, who won Street Race 275 and reset the record, did it in like 10 passes.
Yeah.
Crazy. Maybe 8 passes. I can't remember. I don't have his notes in here. Jamie Dollar, who took first place in Rowdy Radial, 8 passes during the week. He said that he knew he had the win and didn't want to lean on it too hard. So I can understand that for sure. Chuck Stefanski in second in modified with 6 passes. 6. Dude, there's 5 days of racing.
Right.
He took second in modified with 6 passes, and he did 2 on day 2 and spun on the second one. So he really could have locked up second place in modified with 1 and dones. Blows my mind. Josh Davis, first in modified, did 1 and done every day. So message with Devin, I was like, you guys are crazy. I can't, how do you even do that? He's like, man, we knew we had the class covered. And so we just kind of ran at it. He said, we knew we could probably land top 3 with a mid-6 average, and it worked. So wild to me. Once you lead us into the last 3, I've been hammering through these.
Yeah. Graham Hayes, first and ultimate iron, 10, 11 passes, somewhere in that range, with 3 of them being at Orlando Speed World after doing a transmission swap. So to be able to get 3 passes in after a trans swap is you need that.
Yeah, they worked their butts off, and the gearing within the trans was completely different than anything they had ever ran.
Yeah.
So the first one, you might as well throw it out, but I think it was pretty good.
Right. And then Les Smith, second in unlimited, again, 1 and done each day with a 6.826 average. So
that car just continues to get faster.
Right. And then obviously Brett LaSala, first in unlimited, 7 passes with 1 each day except for day 3 and day 5. And I don't know if we really count day 5 because he had it locked up with the first pass, I think. Right. And then I think he made a second pass just to inch closer to that 5.
Yeah. Sorry. And I think my notes are wrong here. He was 1 and done each day, except for 3 passes on day 5. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and that's what he said in the message back to me was like, I didn't need to go that. I didn't need it, but man, we had the opportunity to really kind of lean on it. They were really looking for that elusive 5-second average. Dude, remember what, a 6:07? Come on.
Right. And then Joe here saying the first run and second run being 5 hours separated loses all usable data sometimes, which I get that too. I mean, 5 hours apart, whatever data you got on that first pass, tracks probably changed in 5 hours.
Yep. Well, and especially being second, or being late in the day. Now you've got like, it was 45, 50, 60 degrees and we're now it's 80,
Right. And then Dean Anderson here saying, I made 35 passes at 6 summer and ended up in 3rd. Sometimes you get it done in 1 or 2 passes, and other days it's pass after pass. Competition is tough when you're only separated by 1 thou or 2.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure. Dean Anderson, one of the toughest competitors in DYO in the past, or pro DYO in the past, I think making the move to some 6th Street 275 or 6th Street race.
Right.
Yeah. Quarter horse customs in here. Taking him from work.
Just makes you wonder, had there been more passes, how differently would this list look?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the question of the day, right? Is would we have seen that if we could have maybe got earlier run times, or let's say on day 3, if Brett could have gotten some more passes earlier in the day, like could we have gotten them up there and got his pass at 9 a.m. and then him circle right back around to be able to turn it back up. So I think after day 1, and everybody kind of waiting around and seeing that, and then having that long drive, everybody kind of went really to survival mode. It was like, oh my gosh, we've spent till 7 o'clock at night at the track, and now we're not getting to the hotel rooms till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
That makes it tough.
I imagine everybody was waiting around to see if they could get a pass in all run. You know? So there's people that were probably done early on, but they were like, well, wait for an all pass, but then you wait all day and you don't get one. It's like, well, shoot, there goes your whole day. You could have been to the checkpoint or even to the hotel by then.
Right. And then Joe Haney here saying not having a day 0 test hurt too. And I think that's true. We don't fight with Mother Nature. She wins every time. But, not letting some of those cars blow up is probably something that, like Richard Flint made the post yesterday, I think it was, or today, one of the two, that was like, hey, should we do a cruise as part of tech? Should that be part of tech? So we don't go into day 0. But again, we've never really ran into the situation where we've had this many cars and it's been a problem. I mean, again, you're talking about a one-off event, and really by the end of the week, we were fine. Everybody was moving through. Everybody was getting their passes and all that kind of stuff. So
right, and we talk about it with sick week. it's either going to go one or two ways. You got a new build, and it's either going to be great because it's got no passes on it, or it's going to go bad because it's got no passes on it.
Yeah. Or you buy a car that somebody has proven to be a great street car and a drag and drive car. They drove it all over Missouri and had fun in it and put tons of street miles on it. And it shits the bed the first pass. But that's okay.
Hey,
that's
I think
okay.
that was a little too much of the up button on that one.
Well, and that's what he says too. So let's bring in our first guest of the night. I'm excited about this. Kyle Hood is on with us right now, and this is going to be a good one, dude. I hope you're ready for this. Let me move you over to the big stage here. We want to talk about, obviously, I want to know about the El Camino. I think everybody out there does. I mean, Cleetus kind of did a little bit. He kind of told us some stuff, but dude, you're the guy that made that thing what it was. And we want to hear from you, man. So tell us, who you are, where you're from, and kind of a little bit about the El Camino.
Well, my name is Kyle Hood. I'm from Washington, Missouri, basically. And we started with the El Camino before we knew a single thing about drag racing. I mean, we put like a $300 small block in it and turbo 350 and ran 15s the first time at the track. And we kind of hooked after that. So then we heard about the circuit. So we slapped it together with a 5.3 NA the first year. And we just had the best time ever. And I was sold. After being at the circuit the first time, I knew we had to go fast and boost and needed lots of upgrades. So it just kind of kept spiraling, it was never.
Yeah, that's not how car projects ever go. They never spiral, man. What do you mean?
I'm telling you, when I first built that thing, I would have never in my wildest dreams would it run 10 O's. I mean, I never thought that'd be possible. But I mean, the more we did it, we learned a little, and I don't know, the more we learned, the faster we wanted to go, and it just spiraled. What can I say?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, we definitely want to talk about some of it. Oh, there we go. Here's a picture. If everybody hasn't been following Cleetus's channel, it was purchased as part of the cheap car challenge that they did, and we're going to talk about that. How he came about, how you guys met, how if you delivered, if y'all met, whatever. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I want to talk about like what all you did with this car, because this car you drove all over the place. You guys drove it from like Casey Matthews is a good friend of yours. He also races the circuit. You guys drove those cars from St. Louis to the circuit, right?
Yes. Yeah. Both times so far, we kind of have like a little meetup party at my house, and we do a couple last minute things in the shop, and then we roll out right from here and drive them the whole way down there. That's kind of been our thing so far. We trailer the El Camino whenever we go to our local track, Gateway, because who wants to break down in East St. Louis in the middle of the night?
Yeah, agreed.
Kind of our thing. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason, but we just think it's cool, to drive them the whole way there and drive them home.
I mean, that's the purpose of them, right? That's drag and drive life. It's all about getting in and driving your car rather than trailering it everywhere. It's the best part.
Yeah, the El Camino's done a lot of cool things. I mean, it's been basically about every track in Missouri except for the new one. It's been on the streets. It's been all around town at all hours of the nights. I mean, we try to use that car for everything. I mean, once we just had so much fun with it. It was great.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going through some of the pictures here. Looks like import face-off. Is that? Yeah, that's it. That's at Gateway or Worldwide Technology now, and obviously the circuit. And then this looks like some street action. Am I crazy here?
No, that's definitely some Mexico action, some local Mexico to us. I was so excited that day. I finally got invited, and I didn't think I'd be nearly fast enough to hang, and we ended up going to the finals that day. And that was the most fun days of racing we ever had. It was 100 degrees that day, and I was hot lapping the thing just over and over and over. We don't have any fans or anything, and I mean, the third or fourth pass, I just didn't even look at the tranny temperature anymore.
Like, if it survives, it survives.
Yeah, right. I mean, I was having too much fun I couldn't opt out after that. But went to the finals, ended up losing in the finals, and I got my buy-in money back anyway.
Nice. Well, hey, I mean, dude, that's the way it's supposed to go. And then is this in the El Camino as well?
Yeah, that's the whole family. Actually, minus one kid. One kid was missing there, but yeah, I don't know what we were doing that day, but actually I do. It was a dinosaur cruise, a little deal in Marthasville here. So we went and we laid down the biggest burnout of that entire event. So that was a great day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm sure that car with the turbo setup probably did big gnarly burnouts.
It did, yeah. It would. I mean, you could click it into third gear and then just hold it on the rev limiter in high gear. It would basically never stop spinning the tires. It was really a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So, why that car? Where did it come from, man?
Well, that's a good question. That car came. So when I first decided I wanted to go drag racing, I basically didn't have any money at all, and I still don't really. I'm poor, but I found it on Marketplace locally for $250. And I went and looked at it, and I know it was rough and it's beat up and it's rusty, but the frame was good. The body mounts are good. It was solid enough where it counted,
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I looked at it as an engine stand, for just me to learn and try stuff and tune and whatever. And like I said, it spiraled, obviously. But, yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot of thought there. It was just something affordable that I could get my hands on. And, yeah, we just kept running it, kept up there.
So what was the combo in it? I guess have you transmission, and then what upgrades you made from there?
Well, the first combination was a Smog era, like 882 headed small block Chevy with a turbo 350 that we had built, and it was terrible. It was enough to turn us on to drag racing, but it was very slow. We finally got it to go 14s, was the best there. So then I actually traded a motorhome big block for the 5.3 that was in it. And we raced at NA for a season, and we finally got it into the 12s with that setup, and we had a lot of fun. That was when we really got hooked on the drag racing. And I watched, all the sloppy mechanics videos and the Cleetus stuff and everything else, and I knew that we boost. And so yeah, I made my own turbo kit, and it ran really hard. It went 10s, and we had a ton of fun. And then it ended up cracking, and that was actually right before the circuit. I made a whole new hot side and just did a ton of things to the car, and then ended up running the personal best on the circuit, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. We went 10:29 and then drove it home, and no one ever kicked us out for running too fast for having a roll bar. We just couldn't turn the time slip since we kind of like a testing tune.
Yeah.
20s all week, or turn it down and work on your front half, and then just coast out the back.
Yeah. The very first pass I made actually at last year's circuit was extremely embarrassing because it never totally annihilated the tires, and it did. I mean, that was for the first time. It spun the tire so hard I was all over the place, and the guy in the live stream was making fun of me, and it was really. But we kind of got it together after that. Started going faster.
That's awesome. Yeah, this car, I mean, I'm telling you, it is one of my favorites of the event. The story of you and Casey driving from St. Louis, I mean, there's so much fun there. You know what I mean? Like,
we have had more than you could shake a stick at. I mean, the road, most of the fun, honestly. It's just the best.
That's awesome. That's
super cool.
Yeah, so what was the fastest ET you had ran in the car?
So the fastest ET I did was that actually the night of that picture where it was at the import face-off. It went 10.001 at 108.9. All I wanted to run 9s, and I wanted to do 140 and everything. Just got so close, but just wasn't quite enough. So I kept making passes, and it went a little bit better each time. It was cooling off, and I was basically out of fuel pump. I knew that. I mean, I kept looking at the data logs, and it was done. Fuel pressure was dipping, and duty cycle was going crazy, trying to compensate. And so I was trying to turn it up in the tiniest little ways possible, like a half a degree of timing, 1 degree of timing. And it finally went 10.001, and I put like 1 more degree in it, and then I lined up to make another pass. And the same thing you guys saw on YouTube happened to Cleetus, happened to me that night. Wastegate pipe locked, and it torched the flex sensor. And when that happened, it leaned and then popped really hard, let out a huge fireball and blew the head gaskets and all that fun stuff. And that was actually the last pass that I made in the car. So it sat broken until the whole Cleetus thing came up.
When was that last pass then?
What's that?
When was that last pass?
The last pass, shoot, it had to be like October of last year, I guess.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, it was sitting broken for a while. I got so many other things to work on. It kind of just got pushed off to the side. I bought a lot of cool parts for it. I bought a Force Performance S485 and more fuel pump and all the things. I was planning to go a lot faster. I had no intention of selling the car. So
yeah. Well, let us think. Let's do this Molly ad read, and then we're going to talk about how that whole thing came about, because I want to hear like how that happened, how the sale to Cleetus happened, where did that even come from, and then how it felt sitting at home watching that car make passes. So we're going to talk about that in just a second.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Eric, you want to do the ad read?
Yes, sir. All right, Molly Motorsports. Attention high performance enthusiasts and racers. Meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for Power Pack performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or the 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Molly apart? It's their forged pistons, graphol coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Oh, yeah. So let's get into part 2 here and kind of talk about this. Let's bring Kyle back on. Sorry, moving you around here. Here we go. We're set. Okay. I just really want to know kind of how, because, dude, I had never heard about the Cheap Car Challenge. I didn't know anything that was coming up. Walk us through how all this gets started.
All right. So the way it started, I got in real late from work one night, and I just was scrolling Facebook before bed, and I saw a post that Cleetus had made a race car somewhere in the $6,000 range. And I was kind of joking. I mean, I didn't think this would happen for a second. I didn't particularly want to even sell the El Camino, and I love that thing. Everybody knows it and whatnot. Well, I posted up a picture of it, and I said something like it runs 10 O's and makes all the tech guys hate you. And then I guess I fell asleep. Well, I wake up the next morning, and I had a bunch of messages from him, and he was dead serious. He was like, I have to have this car. Started chatting, and I had to really think for a minute. I mean, I actually, I never planned to sell the car at all, but it just seemed like a good thing, because we were ready to go faster, and I know I needed a cage. I needed a million things for the car to really go a whole lot faster than it was going. So anyway, we chatted back and forth, and we basically made a deal, and it was a crazy thing. It was unexpected completely, but.
So as all this is happening, did you ever were you ever kind of like, I didn't think this was actually going to happen, and now here I just literally through messages sold my El Camino to Cleetus? Like, what was that moment when it actually hit you? Like,
it really hit me like on the way down there, and I realized I had more sentimental attachment to that car than I ever thought. I know it's not worth much and it's nothing special, but man, I spent a lot of hours working on it. Me and my dad did together, and it was really our first race car. It definitely meant a lot to me, and it was not an easy thing to part with. But at the end of the day, I mean, it had to go to afford the next thing, I mean,
right.
afford to keep everything. I absolutely would. I'd be a car hoarder, but it is.
Yeah. Well, you kind of mentioned the next question here, but if anybody hasn't watched the video, part of the agreement was that you were delivering the car as well, right?
Yeah. So he offered to come up here and get it, and that's cool and all. But whenever we first talked, I basically told him I actually lied. I told him I was busy at work, and what I really had to do was just think this all through, and I decided it was like in the negatives here, dang near, in single digits, something like that. And I decided going to Florida would be a heck of a lot cooler than having Cleetus come here. And basically what I came up with is I asked him, as part of the deal of us hauling it down there, could we get a cool experience, and maybe rip some Crown Vics or just do something fun in general to make it worth our trip down there. And he basically said, heck yeah, brother, bring it on. So that's just what we did. And it was great. It was amazing.
How cool. So we're going to blame all that cold weather on you then.
Yeah. I've been told that.
So they kind of hit on it when they were talking about the cost when they were going through that, but they did mention doing the driving experience. How was that?
Oh, the driving experience was absolutely awesome. We had the best time. It was far harder than I thought it would be. I've always kind of thought roundy round racing would be easy, and it's definitely more difficult than I thought. I about wrecked one of his cars, and I blame it on nerves. I mean, I was so nervous. I like to think I can drive, but I got really, really sideways chasing Garrett down, and it was super scary. I was Jimmy Dale and grabbing the wheel, going crazy, and I was so relieved when it finally settled down, because the last thing I wanted to do was hit the wall and trash one of his cars,
Yeah. Well, roundy rounds might be easy. if you're not driving a stock Crown Vic too.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's super cool. So you were on the track with him doing some racing?
Just me and Garrett on the track. It started out me and my dad, Alyssa, my girlfriend, and George driving, and we all ran, or he kind of showed us the ropes, showed us the line you're supposed to run, and told us, treat it like a diamond and what to do and everything. And then the plan was for all of us to drive, but my girlfriend Alyssa, so last summer she broke her back on Memorial Day. And after the few kind of hot laps with George, she wasn't hurt by any means, but it was apparent that her back was not liking that anymore. So it ended up being just me and Garrett out on the track, and it was still a great time. I mean, I got to run a handful of warm-up laps, and then he told me, we pulled up alongside, and he said, "Are you ready to go hot?" And I said, "Yep, let's go." And every lap, I think I lost about a half a car on him. But it was much harder to stay with him. And
yeah, that dude's got a few laps on that setup.
Right. I mean, that ain't no joke. He can Crown Vic, that's for sure.
Yeah. So next question here was, obviously you got down there, you got it delivered, and now this is the moment where they're coming to pick up the car from you. How cool was that initial experience of, like, here he is and here is my car, like doing that final deal there?
It was very cool. I was nervous as can be, though. I mean, I thought I was going to die whenever George hopped out and put the camera right in my face, but somehow I got through it. And it was a very cool experience. I was pleasantly surprised how cool those guys actually were. I mean, even off camera, they're just as cool as they are on camera, So the whole thing was kind of surreal. It was wild watching the El Camino get backed into the hangar next to Consuela, the helicopter, and all this high dollar stuff. And it was really cool seeing him be so excited about it. I mean, I don't know, it made me feel good, It made me built a cool car. It may not be a nice car, but it's a cool car. And he definitely was very excited. And it was just a great experience overall. It was an awesome time.
That's really cool. Well, I want to talk about his week, because I'm going to skip through these photos without people looking at them here. But dude, first pass, they go out and rip the, blow a head gasket. But in the video, he literally calls you, he's like, "Man, hey, sorry, it wasn't his fault. It was our fault." So what was it like to, as he's getting ready to go up and like make the first pass? Like, what are you thinking at home?
Well, I was actually at work that day, and I was working on a conveyor, and I had a million things I should have been doing, but I wasn't getting anything done. I mean, my friends were texting me, and I'm on the live stream, and I was basically doing absolutely nothing as far as work. But I really wanted the thing to run nines, because I sent it to him. I know the crazy wastegate plumbing that they made fun of, that at least with the turbo that I had on it, it made 20 pounds boost, and that was the exact same setup that went 10.001. So I was convinced that it was going to go nines. I really thought. And what I didn't know is what they put E90 in it, which was definitely not a good move, being that the fuel pump was right on the ragged edge to begin with. But I was, it was an emotional roller coaster. I went from being this high thinking it was going to go nines, and then to seeing all the smoke come out, I was so bummed out. I just wanted to cry.
Dang.
I could understand how much that meant to me, but I was not happy. It was a real bummer,
Right. Well, one of the cool things is, those guys, they didn't have any quit in them, and they just, they went to tearing it apart. And I think they enjoyed that as much as if it had gone nines out of the gate and done everything like it had supposed to.
Yeah, I think they did. They sure made it look easy on camera. They definitely know what they're doing. They know how to work on beaters.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure. Well, during the week, what are some of the highlights that you call out? That you can recall.
I would say the biggest highlight, without a doubt, was seeing the thing go nines, and that was just amazing. I tried so hard. I spent so much time trying to get it to do that, and I just wasn't quite as fearless as him. That's what I'll chalk it up to. I think I probably could have done it, but I thought the 10-bolt was right on the edge of breaking. So I would say the other highlight besides the 9-second pass was definitely when they figured out the old Matt Happel sloppy spool mod and made the thing leave like a bat out of hell with the left front tire up and the rear end steering and everything looking crazy. That was
violence.
Oh, it was amazing. My phone was blowing up. All of my friends were texting me, and it was really great. I loved seeing everyone. Actually, reading comments was very entertaining too. Everyone in the car was on the verge of falling apart when I knew it wasn't. It does all the time, but anyway, that was very cool to see. I love seeing it do wheelies, and I love seeing Garrett excited to wheel the thing, and it was just a great thing overall.
Yep. So obviously these are from videos that I took, and I meant to send you these before. I figured you would enjoy these, and you can get all that stuff on the live stream and all that kind of stuff. But like, man, when that car left at South Georgia, I was like, oh shit, this is for real right now. This is going down.
It definitely does some crazy stuff, but I think it's easier to drive than it looks, really. I mean, I've been told that by a lot of people that are like, it looks like the rear end's trying to run out from underneath it, but I mean, maybe it is, but it does the same thing every time, a little this way, that way, and then it straightens out and you're just driving a car,
Yep. Yeah, that's what it was. It did a huge burnout. The crowd was really fun on day 5 because, I mean, obviously by this point, everybody's hyped up. It's, it's got the notoriety of the week. It's made it. We're at day 5. And so in the video that I took, I got a little bit of the crowd just going wild when he did this burnout out to probably, I don't know, 100 foot from the burnout box.
That's wild. I actually cringed a little bit when I heard him just hold the thing on the rev limiter in the burnout. I would that to it, but it is what.
Well, that was one of our questions. What's something that made you cringe during the week?
Oh man, what made me cringe? Basically, whenever the first video, I think it was the day 1 video where it blew up. When I saw him pour an E90 out of Tom Bailey's trailer, I knew that was going to be a problem because I had like E60, 70 in it, and the fuel pump was on the ragged edge on 20 pounds of boost. And I knew they had put a turbo with a slightly bigger back housing, so you can only assume it's going to make more boost. And more ethanol is just going to tax the system even more. That definitely made me cringe. I mean, I had obviously already heard what happened by that time, but I'm like, oh my God, that's it right there. That's it. So that's rough. I mean, and I would say holding it on the rev limiter on the burnouts. I guess I just worry too much, but that definitely made me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I was curious, when was it that you took it to him? How close was it to Sick Week?
I'm trying to remember what day that was. I think we actually did the deal on January 24th. It was while the U.S. Street Nationals were going on. That whole kind of a blur to me at this point. I couldn't tell you the exact day, but it was definitely the 24th because we met him the day before, which was my birthday. And, that was kind of cool. So.
Nice.
So with that, how hard was it to not tell everybody that you were selling the car to him until the video series came out? Because I actually remember seeing you comment on that post about having the El Camino for sale. I remember seeing that as I was scrolling through his post.
Yeah, it was definitely tough not to tell everyone, especially once we really talked and it was like a for sure thing. It was really difficult to keep my mouth shut. There's no doubt about that. And I
can imagine.
Yeah, it was also difficult to keep my mouth shut about the sale price and some other things. I can't get into it's top secret, but you can extrapolate that.
Right. And then how has your social media changed now since, everybody has kind of started to connect the dots that you were the previous owner of the car now that everybody knows?
That's a really fun question. So my girlfriend, Alyssa, has been telling me we need to film and we need to do all this and that. And that couldn't be further from what I do, So she made this page, Hood's Hot Rods, and she made a TikTok and all these different things way back in like November. And I've never even logged on to them. I don't even know how to log on to them. And then right around the time this deal is going on, after the video on day 1, my goodness. It went from like 2 followers, 0 or 2 followers or whatever to like now we have a whole bunch. So it's kind of crazy. I don't really know what to do with it. I hope I can figure that out maybe and just
post, man. Tell people want your stuff, man.
Yeah,
they want to know what you're doing.
I'm not that guy. I would love to be that guy. I've always dreamed about being a car YouTuber like everyone else does, but I really don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe we can do something with it. We got enough cool stuff going on. If I can get my stuff together and learn how to be on camera and all that, maybe we can do something. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I know as soon as I saw his video get released with what he bought, I instantly went back through my phone, found the video of you at the circuit doing the burnout outside of Big Brutus. And boy, I posted that thing right away. And you're right, comments get interesting because everybody's like, that's not the same car. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Hey, I loved seeing that video. I mean, that was the first time I had actually ever seen that video, and that was before it was turboed. And it took me a second when I watched that. I'm like, wow, that's an old one. That's an
Yeah.
old one.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. So since all this has been done, have you talked to Garrett all about plans on what he's going to do with the car going forward, or has communication kind of stopped with that?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him a whole lot. Very little. All I have heard is that they're apparently sending the car somewhere to put an 850 cage in it, and it's going to reappear at 6 Summer, which is, I'm not going into it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna feel silly, if you guys just like jump it off Cody's Hill or something crazy at the end, because I really care about the car. So obviously, I could not be happier about hearing that it's gonna live on. I don't know what the future plans are after 6 Summer, but at least we know it's gonna live to then. So hopefully they'll continue to do more.
Yeah, I think that car fits his personality so well. I don't see him getting rid of that car.
I really hope he doesn't. I mean, I never imagined he would have loved it like he does, but after meeting him and seeing him play with it and all that, it really was the perfect car for a beater challenge, just like he said. And I'm pretty happy that I may or may not have gotten a scratch and dent deal on a motion shifter too for our new.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that series has done so well for everybody that maybe doesn't know drag and drive, or like just doesn't understand that you can have so much fun with a 10-12 second car. Like those guys were having an absolute blast, and you could see improvements every day. To me, that was kind of my favorite part about the whole series, was just putting that in front of people. Like we all know that that's what drag and drive is because we do it, but there's so many people out there that don't understand and think that you need the 6 and 7 second cars to have all the fun.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed seeing every second of that. And one of the things that really stuck out to me too was when they were just driving down the highway, and they're talking about how nice it floats and drives down the highway. And he's like, George was sleeping. I was doing 85 for a while. That made me really happy too. Nothing better than having a big old heavy turd. They aren't the greatest on the track, but man, when you get on the highway, they are just right on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is a cool comment here for you. It says, you are that guy. Listen to the people. You are your own character. The people would love and may as well make the most of the opportunity. So definitely talking about continuing building your Hood's hot rod there.
Yeah, hey, I may or may not have some stuff filmed. I'm just too embarrassed and worried to post. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna get over it.
Yeah. I tell you what, go to my channel, 815 LSX Swaps, and watch my very first video. And it will make you feel better about whatever you've recorded. All of our first videos are bad, so it's just about posting that first one and keep going.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Kyle, listen, I've had a blast, but man, I got to know what are you building now? What's next?
Well, we have more projects going on than we know what to do with. So my dad, who's my previous El Camino partner, he's got a 64 two-door Chevy Impala. It's actually a real super sport. And we're putting a 6-liter out of a van that we bought, 6.0, 4L80, Holly, all that stuff. We're putting that in it and hoping to run 12s and at the circuit, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, and then me and Alyssa are building a 69 Pontiac Catalina 4-door that's getting a turbo LS. It's a 5.3, 4L80 out of the junkyard, VS 78, 75. Nothing super crazy. Basically, the same combo as the El Camino, but we're not going to run it as hard. We don't want to break it. Still wants to drive the thing to town and all that. So yeah, we have that going on. And then I also bought a Fairmont with the money that I got out of the El Camino. And it's a pretty serious race car. It's got an 850 cage and a 9-inch and subframe connectors and all the TRZ stuff in the rear end and a lot of good parts, but I'm not setting a date on when that one's going to be out. I have stuff to work on between. Anyway, eventually I want to go 8. So that's basically what made me willing to get rid of the El Camino. I love that car dearly, but I wanted to go faster at the end of the day, and I needed to be safer and be legal and all these things. So I ended up finding a roller that was supposedly owned by Bobby Ducati. I haven't been able to verify that, but that's what I was told. So it's a Fairmont wagon, got a really nice cage, and I don't do fab work. I do mechanics and put engine combinations together and all that stuff, but I wanted something that already had the cage.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, last question before we let you go. Are you coming to Six Summer to reunite with Lumberjack?
So I tell you what, I would absolutely love to, but I can't answer that for sure. We will be there for sure. Whether or not we get in, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Basically, if they'll let us in, then we'll be there. Whether it's in the Fairmont or the Catalina, I can't say that for sure, but we will definitely be there.
That's cool, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you telling the stories tonight. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, have me on, Mike. I appreciate everything you do for the whole racing community, and I can't wait to see you in April.
I know, man. I'm ready. 50 days, bud.
Yeah, that's scary. We're running out of time, but we'll get it.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, for everybody that has have it in the back of their mind, I haven't thought about the old truck in 2 weeks, and it's still here in my garage. So we've got to get it to my brother's house sometime in the next 10 or 12 days if we're going to have a chance at getting it ready for the circuit too. So we're in the same boat, man.
Heck yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thanks again. We'll kick you out of here, and just want to say thanks, man. Appreciate it. And we're going to be looking for Hood's Hot Rods updates here as we get closer to the circuit.
Well, yeah, stay tuned. There'll be all right. Take care.
Later.
See ya.
How fun, dude. I like that guy a bunch, man. That was a good time.
Yeah. Worked out perfect on time. I'm back here while Mike's talking. I'm throwing in notes, and a bunch more questions popped into my head. So
Yeah, that was great, man. I appreciate Kyle coming on. I know before that he had said he was a little anxious to jump here on the screen and tell that story, or even be on screen, and I think that's how it goes for a lot of folks. So hopefully between the Cleetus action and this, maybe he'll dive off into some stuff, man. It's always good when we can see hot rods being built, man, and average people building hot rods, and it doesn't take, big shops to do that kind of stuff and big money. I mean, obviously that car fit within the $7,500 challenge, and they went 9s. So that's pretty awesome. I did see something Tom Bailey posted up. I think they went 10s in the new Camaro, or maybe 9s in the new Camaro with a bunch of nitrous. So, who knows, man, we may be looking at a whole new renaissance of cheap cars. So.
Yeah. And nothing about those cars was out of reach for anybody watching this show.
No.
Everything that they've done is things that we all can do. So
yep. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to watch that. Well, if you will get us some, do our thanks and the gentleman's agreement, I'll get the Instagram thing reset.
All right. Once again, tons of comments here. Appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody tuning in here on our Wednesday night live. So you guys are our race car friends, and we appreciate each and every one of you popping in every week with us and, hanging out with Kyle there. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Summit Racing, new sponsor, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and of course, Racing Junk. And we talk about it every week. This is our gentleman's agreement. Again, we are closing in on 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's not a ton, but for us, that's a big milestone. So we're excited. Gentleman's agreement. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching it on. No contracts, no strings, just you showing some love to us, and us keep promising to deliver content that you came here for. Keep the vibe alive, like and subscribe. Let's keep rolling with the show.
Let's do it. And let's move into the PowerTube TV. Sorry. Big shout out to PowerTube. They're hosting PowerFest in June. And man, that thing's going to be wild. Pinks and pastime episodes being recorded. Looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. And they're working on something later in the year that I think I'm going to try and get the community involved in. That's all I'm going to say about that. So PowerTube TV, if you don't know, you can watch car stuff all day. It's like the new version of like Speed Channel, basically a lot of the same shows, and they have tons of content from creators like us that can do. We have our own shows. There's even an entire podcast like channel within the app that plays nothing but automotive podcasts, man. It's amazing. So watch that stuff. You can also be a part of it if you're a content creator and submit your stuff to PowerTube, and they'll play it on there and on their YouTube and Facebook channel and stuff as well. So pretty awesome. What is up next here? Let's WAF Racing, dude.
Yep.
Chris Wozniak.
Let me hit that video, and then we'll keep going.
Have you ever wished you could fit your toolbox in the palm of your hand, or really needed that extra set of hands while making a jet change at the track? At WAF Racing, we specialize in designing and manufacturing top-tier automotive tools that are made strong to withstand travel, yet lightweight not to slow you down. Tested in-house and at the track by the team at WAF Racing, every part is made by racers for racers. From compact toolkits, carburetor top hats, or spark plug storage containers, our tools are precision engineered and manufactured in the USA. Made of the strongest materials, every piece strikes the perfect balance of durability and dependability. Maybe you need something custom just for you. We do that too. You need WAF Racing in the passenger seat for your next drag racing event. Head over to wafracing.com today to take your racing experience to the next level. WAF Racing. Design, build, race.
Man, I love Chris Wozniak at WAF Racing. That is such a great company. I mean, he really just got back from sick week, plans to do 3 or 4 different events this year. I mean, maybe he's going to be trying for the 10-0 plus world, points championship deal.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of awesome. He's a great dude.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, obviously some of the new parts that they have, this is a big deal because he is always working on things to, make products better. So during sick week, which is the picture you see on your left, this is a spark plug holder that he developed months ago. They used it through, I think he had a bunch of them at PRI, and they used it at an event. Maybe it was 666. Yeah. And tested them out, made sure they were good. And then came to PRI with a bunch and then went back home and kept messing with it. And so now he has, it's less expensive, which is awesome because it uses less material. It is lighter weight, which is better as well. And it's cheaper. So how cool is that?
Yeah. There's not too many companies out there that are going to reduce the price on a product. So
yeah, I love it. And so if you haven't done it yet, WAF Racing is a great that, you can see in the picture on the right, they've got carburetor stands. They've got carburetor covers. I guess I don't know what you call it, like a carburetor hat that would, it's good for your jets. It's good for your tools, which is actually what's right in front of that. Is they've got an entire carburetor toolkit, which is what started all of this. He had several different like fishing tackle boxes that he carried all of this stuff in, and he basically made his own setup that's about the size of, it's thicker than a big cell phone, but it's about the footprint of a cell phone. So shooting for the 10s. Come on. Yep. I really thought we may see a 1099 by the end of the week, but he just couldn't quite get there. Ran 1140s, 1150s all week. And he's got a race with Mike Turner coming up. And so he's going to have to maybe put the bottle on the Charger, Duster, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Challenger.
Mopar. It's a Mopar.
Yeah. Small block, streetcar stuff. So it's pretty fun. Well, we've had these guys backstage, like I said before we started the show. Red Hat Scotty and David Maxson and all those guys have been backstage talking, and I'm sure they are fired up, ready to get up here. But I just want to give a big shout out to them. They have been supporters of what we've done since before day one. Red Hat Scotty and I have known each other for a very long time, and he's one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. And I appreciate his friendship and the chat groups that come along with being friends with him, because it's nonstop fun and he's hilarious. We also have the dude, which is his dad. We have Keaton Maxson, who's a young man that is, coming up in the drag and drive world and coming up in racing and all that kind of stuff. And then David Maxson, who's his dad. So this is going to be a fun episode or fun hour here. We've planned for an hour for these guys, but I don't know how we're going to keep it within that. So gentlemen, let's talk, man. Let's get into this. I want to know how you know each other and where you guys are all sitting, because your names are all jacked up on the bottom.
Yeah, well, the dude.
Yeah.
Y'all should know me, David Keaton, and the ProMod S10 back there. We're actually at Maxson Racing headquarters.
Nice.
Odessa, Missouri.
That's cool. Well, you guys are always having a lot of fun, and you guys really put a hurting on me at PRI 2023 and some peer pressure, and the peer pressure has come back around. So, but I want to know, has it always been like that for you guys? Have you guys always had fun? Have you raced each other? What's the story?
Yeah, so we always have fun. Anytime you're with the four of us, you're going to have a good time every time. Me and Dave, we've known each other for quite a few years now, racing and stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Back even before the Vamp days and stuff. So
Yeah.
KCIR, and so and then we've known each other for a long time. And then I don't know, I brought this kid into this, and I guess some people would say he's ruined now, but I don't know. I mean,
Oh yeah, he's definitely ruined. He's definitely ruined. As a race truck, upgrading turbos, all the stuff.
Lance is a big support, though. But my pocket's definitely hurt, though.
Yeah, when Lance talks, you're like, okay, I'm in. What part do I need now to go beat Red Hat Scotty?
Yeah.
Lance is trying to get us in a bidding war on who gets the tune-up for the circuit this year.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
Interesting.
it's fun.
Interesting. Yeah, that could be a blast. So you guys are in the Kansas City area. Everybody always been there. What's the street scene like in Kansas City?
Probably the best.
yeah.
We've had a real solid street scene for many years, and it just keeps going. It's never stopped.
Yeah. Well, I see the S10 up there. What's on the bottom?
That's my new project that we're kind of doing. That's a 78 Ford Fairmont. I've had it, I don't know, about almost 3 years.
Yeah.
It was, some like to say chassis jail, but it wasn't that bad. It was only in there for a year. 25.5 car. Hopefully to have it done for Streetcar Takeover this year, if not sooner.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, and that's September.
No, the one in May, hopefully.
Oh, son, bro.
Ambitious.
We don't mess
coming up.
around in KC.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad's gonna drive out to Neil Chance, go pick up my converter Friday and stuff. So
That's awesome. What's the combo in it?
it's a new twin turbo L8T deal, Gen 5 LT setup that I got from my boy R&D Performance. So yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, that car is 25.5. Is that get you in? Is that an 850 cage? No, that's faster than that, right?
No, it'd be a 750 to
Yeah.
450.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on, just taking a swing at it, man.
Yeah, no drag and drive for it though.
That's okay.
That attitude.
No, never.
You never know. We might, but yeah.
Yeah, you say that now.
No, I don't think so. The truck is perfect. It doesn't really require a lot of maintenance or anything when we do it. So you kick back. And then plus I got to deal with Red Hat in my class. He keeps coming in. I'm about to make a rule, Michael, next year. No Mustangs allowed.
Yeah,
Or no Red Hats. I'm getting tired of this guy in this class. So.
whatever.
Yeah, they don't show up with Sid's car. Really.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
guy, Fairmont wagon.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the peer pressure of the class, really. So for folks that don't know and haven't been around here a long time, Eric and I walk into Buffalo Wild Wings 11:30 at night on Thursday of PRI, and these guys are like, we got an idea. What if we did a 650 index 8th mile class? I was like, nah, because by that point we've already done registration. We've already done, we've got routes basically made, all the stuff for the circuit because it's happening in a few months. And I was like, nah, let's not do it. So I said, you know what? So Lance sitting there, he goes, well, I'll put up 500 to the winner. Well, listen, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So yeah. He brings it out. So I was like, all right, well, we'll ask the public. Dude, you jerks. You knew what people wanted. Second largest class of the circuit 2024, and probably one of the most competitive. I mean, we had several cars run like a 650 something. So in trying to do this, it was awesome, and I love it. So it's pretty fun to have that peer pressure work out.
You were pretty adamant about not adding it too. Like you didn't get into that. Like you said no many times. And they pretty much didn't give up on you until you did say yes.
Yeah. No, we wasn't giving up.
No.
I mean, that wasn't going to stop. I mean, Lance got in his wallet. If I needed to get mine, it was going to happen.
These guys will beat you to death.
Oh yeah, they did, and it was great, man. I mean, we really did have a lot of fun with that class, and it has become one of my favorites. I love kind of some index stuff, especially around drag and drive, and to have to turn 2 passes in a day. I mean, that's a pretty tall order for a 650 index.
Yeah, that was pretty wild trying to do that. Obviously, me and Keaton both failed at running a 650. But hey, we were swinging for the fences every time. It was a blast.
Yeah. So let's talk.
Doesn't get ahead of them.
Hey, that's the way it goes. Well, let's talk about one big part of the circuit is obviously we raise money for charities, right? Always children's charities. I want kids to know that the car community is always awesome. And part of that is the first race of the event. Like that's what kicks off everything. And it's not by chance at the circuit. It is a calculated who's going to do some trash talking. We use that as a way to gamble and raise money. So every dollar that's, gambled, we don't gamble really because there's no winner here except for the kids. But you guys raised, well, I'll let you tell it. So tell us about the race, tell us who won, and then tell us how much you raised.
They're still arguing about who won.
By the way, I have a picture that actually, thank you guys. David and Keaton gave this to me, but there is a win light on my side right there that shows that I got the victory, at least that pass.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I guess really, I don't know. It was a crazy idea I had. I thought, these two guys, maybe we can use this opportunity to raise some money. People in the stands, me and Sid and the people at MoCan, the Blanton family, they were great. They were helping collect, money. And I'm just like, okay, which lane you got, and then obviously Cliff was on the mic too. And he was, saying, all right, who you got, who's your money on? Hell, I didn't even know where the money was coming from. At that point, I didn't care. It was just something that just happened so quick. And I'm like, all right, well, let's run with it. And then we just kept kind of running with it. And then these two, they put on a show. Keaton does this big old gigantic burnout.
Some guy barely made it up there.
Yeah,
on the first day. I'm like, are we going to get to race or am I going to have to go solo or what?
So, vintage Red Hat Scotty, I'll let him go ahead and tell this.
So I've had that car together for a couple years at this point. We show up, I go to change tires, and I have a leaking brake cylinder. The dude and Crack, my mom, they ran up to O'Reilly's and got me the little wheel cylinder I needed, and I swapped it out in record time. I may or may not have been present for the driver's meeting so I could put the car together just so I could race him.
Yeah.
Which it worked out perfectly in the end, but it was very touch and go for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was very touch and go day one anyways, let's be real.
Yeah.
Someone was not very happy day one, but
that is one of the biggest struggles of being this early in the season. A lot of times we're the first event for somebody to kick off their season. That's pretty tough.
These are the winners we get around here.
Yeah. And then, it was great. Scotty made it. I thought Keaton actually broke the truck in the burnout because he did this gigantic burnout. And I just heard something and I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, why did he do that? Just like, why?
Channeled his inner John Force.
Well, yeah, and then Chris Story's out there taking photos of it. So, there's an opportunity for, good pictures for it. So.
Yeah, so end of the day, we just blame Chris.
Yeah, Chris Story, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's all about putting on a show anyway.
That's exactly right. And y'all did, man. It was a lot of fun. The trash talking, the driver meeting, the hype into the crowd. I really think it brought an extra level to the event. I just want to say I appreciate that. And you guys raised nearly a grand, like $900 something or something.
It was close to $6. It was in that range. Hell, I don't even know if we ever got
if we got an actual
dollar amount. So I don't know. you know, and
I know it was a big wad, and you're like here.
yeah,
Please.
you know,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, because it kept going. It was just day one, and then you guys didn't race day two because
No.
remember we kind of kept it where they wasn't going to race day two, and then obviously Cliff does a great job, you know, announcing, and he helped, you know, with that kind of, yeah, you know, building it up, and then obviously, you know, our last day back at Mocan, it was kind of the same thing again. You know, those people, you know, they got in their pocketbooks again and helped out, raised money for the kids, and I mean, we had a blast. I mean, I had a blast. You know, it's an awesome event. I mean, it really is with good people. You know, I'm blessed to say that I passed this crazy hobby down to my son, and I guess
you don't have to worry about drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't afford them.
No.
That's awesome.
Well, I want to go back to having a bad day on day one at the circuit. You also had another bad day during the week, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was so obviously my hat, that's me, that's my identity. The big deal there, I got that. I traveled a couple hours and spent some money to get that hat. And I wake up the day, day one, we're supposed to be at the track racing, and my hat's gone. It is MIA. And I may or may not lost my S on that.
You sure did.
There was a Facebook post. We had some people, I had quite a few friends that were willing to drive to Mocan, from Florida, Texas, wherever, to help me find that hat.
Yeah.
And, lo and behold,
He didn't have to look very hard.
It was literally, if you would have looked up, Eric, Keaton left it sitting in his truck, and you could see it plain as day. All he had to do was look up like 10 feet.
Oh, man.
Camping outside the truck when we came out to the truck to go to Mocan. I thought he was going to be camping in a chair. Like, I know you got it. Where's it at?
Yeah. And we were at breakfast. So I went down to breakfast, and Mike Sleeper and Lewis Martin and Austin, they were there. And they're like, man, did you know somebody stole Scotty's red hat? And I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, kind of. And they said, oh, he's pissed. Security told him they don't have cameras, but they wouldn't let him see the cameras. Oh, he was pissed. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, man. And then Mike Sleeper was like, hey, look at the Facebook post. And I'm like, man, Scotty is pissed. I'm like, man, my boy's pissed off. I'm like, shit. I'm like, how do we make this right?
Yeah. Well, you guys did for sure by bringing it over. That was pretty awesome.
So my next question is it secured now so that it can't be taken off?
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't try taking my hat again. I think they learned their lesson with that one.
Yeah.
Everyone in the public, don't try that again.
Yeah. Lessons learned. Don't take Red Hat Scotty's red hat. Now, what he should do, though, is the Phillips screw heads. Now, he needs, like, torques. Everybody has Phillips. So, all right, brother.
Who would have thought that, these guys would have stole my hat,
That's what makes it so much fun, though. We had a good time.
Oh, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to thank a sponsor real quick and move into the last bit of the show here. And we're going to talk about what this floating index even is for the circuit 2025 and how peer pressure has again taken over. And it's all because of you guys. All right, let's do it here. You want to read it? You want me to read it?
I got it.
Do it.
All right. Performer Built is the official transmission builder of the Drag Drive Repeat show. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performer Built. So appreciate Performer Built Transmissions for being a part of our show.
Yeah, I love Ryan. He is so smart. And again, like I said earlier in the episode, that dude has put in he has rebuilt the show transmission right here live on air. How he pricing them, put their transmission together right here. So pretty cool. All right, so I want to talk about this 650 index and how peer pressure has taken over once more. So, like I said earlier, you guys peer pressured me into doing the 650 index. It was a huge success, second largest class we had at the circuit 2024. You guys come to me with this idea. I'm like, nah. Literally, I think the text back was just nah. 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 And again, come on, man. Listen to us here. We know what we're talking about. There's floating. This is, blah, 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 blah. What do? We ask the public, and they're like, please, let's do it. Sounds like a blast. So kind of give the folks the pitch on kind of how that went down and who's sponsoring that class.
That's all you. Your idea.
So
we don't want to talk about how it works yet because we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think Scotty was here, came out to the house,
Mm.
and it was just a crazy idea, that I had. I'm like, hey, why not, open it up, and let's add some spice to it again. Obviously, you said no, basically almost hell no, kind of, and then so I told Scotty, I said, hey, what do you think? Let's try to run it by him again, and then basically, Scotty's like, oh man, this is awesome, we can raise some money, basically. Yeah.
So I was all about it. Obviously, we like a little bit of the index racing, but every now and again, you got to kind of mix it up. And David came up with this idea, pitched it to me, and I'm like, oh, dude, I think you're onto something. We should try this. And then we kind of went back and forth on who was going to tell you. And, it kind of snowballed from there. And then I think we both may or may not have pressured you into like actually looking at this as an idea.
Got a lot of no's again.
Yeah. So I think
there's a theme there.
We figured it out though. If anybody wants to, add a class or something, text Michael late at night.
Or get him at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings are late at night.
Yeah, so if you're late at Buffalo Wild Wings,
yeah, it's appreciated. Yes. Oh, but you gotta have money though. Don't just be like, hey, we want to do this class and not have a class sponsor money.
Yeah, that is one thing that we'll talk is like, because we donate so much. Like if it's another way we can grab some more donations, I'm in. So give us the rundown on the donation stuff.
Scotty?
Oh, so I can explain it?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, we'll let Scotty explain this one.
All right, so what David came up with that we talked about was how many other people are in the class. It's a 650 class. So we've got all these chips. And for a donation, I think, what do we decide? $50. For $50, you can take your 650 chip, erase that number, and you can write your own number between 640 and 670. So if you know that car runs 665, throw your $50 down, write 665, that chip goes in the bag. We're not going to do more than one chip per car entered. And then if you don't want to donate, you like the 650, then it stays. And if you like 650 and you want to donate your $50 and write 650 on the chip.
Yeah. I think this is going to be fun. The biggest concern I had obviously was how you how we explain it to everyone, but I think everybody's been pretty open to it.
Yeah, so when we get down there at the drivers meeting, we'll make sure to make an announcement. Anybody that's running the 650-ish index class, hang around, come see us. We'll draw the chips, draw the chip in front of everyone. You can see it, you know what it is, and if there's any other questions, any of us will be there to answer them and explain it. But basically, this is just another way to get donations for the charity and another way to just have more fun.
Maybe take a couple of cars out of you versus you too, 670 car. Maybe they'll come join the 650 class and separation you versus you or something.
And we won't have change. So if you got $100, that means you're donating that $100.
Yeah, we don't have change around here.
So if you got $60, there's no change. So
We'll take checks though.
yeah. Just make them right out to Youth Services of Tulsa.
yes. So yeah, maybe by then we'll have an opportunity for credit cards. Who knows? But
we can do that too, I'm sure.
PayPal, I take it.
yeah, Venmo,
Yeah.
PayPal, whatever.
Yeah, we'll
Just
got
make
it.
sure you got your money.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Eric, I'm gonna let you ask this question because I think this is gonna get some heat going.
All right. So, what's up with you guys starting classes and then entering them? So, you guys, Travis Wise with Joe Diffie in the tailgate class, like you guys just creating your own classes for you guys to compete in, or what?
Well, I didn't want to race quarter mile. Personally, it's hard on stuff, harder on things. Then you still got to drive. And then 650 was just kind of where it fit. And I didn't want to take the truck any farther. We talked about it, but I was like, no, I still want to be able to drive it. So then we built the other car. But then I was like, this 650 is a great idea. We should just do it. And a lot of people, like locally, they have 580 and 650 index. And those classes have always been successful around here. So we thought to bring it to you.
I just blame them for me getting in 650. So that was those guys.
Now, and this is something I haven't talked to anybody about yet, but to throw the wrench in the 640 to 670 class, what about instant green?
Oh, no way. No way.
What? Come on.
No, it's too hard because we really don't have class calls at the circuit, so it's too hard to manipulate the time. Now,
We can change that though.
Yeah, it's not late enough.
Yeah.
I need
the
to get my
circuit-
wallet.
That's what you say now. But
the circuit.
I need to go get my wallet. It's not late enough. So
Oh man, what if we did like some kind of shootout, like what Travis is doing over in Tailgate?
hell yes, that would be
And
awesome.
run some kind of instant green out of the shootout type deal.
Yep.
That could be kind of fun. I would maybe look into some of that stuff because, man, just keeping up with changing from Pro Tree for somebody and then changing to instant green too tough. Somebody can run up and take the bulbs out. I don't know.
Yeah, we could all gather
Yeah.
around the back of the stage. And,
Yeah. Now, so Eric, I guess Travis really created his class after we did it first. So Travis Wise, sorry, brother. We were the first ones.
He's a follower.
We were the OGs. So sorry. He just followed along.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was kind of hoping you guys would create your class and then try and win it. I think that was his goal too, is maybe to come in and win it.
No, because really that's R&D Performance Fabrications money. Lance Drager, he sponsored it. It's kind of, we want somebody else to get Lance's money. He gets enough of Keaton, so
So it's almost like some of Keaton's money. Is what you're saying? Probably.
Pretty much, So we want to have fun with it. I think everybody knows the circuit is about having a great time and raising money and finish it. I don't know. Keaton 2 years ago didn't finish his first one. He's never finished, and he was a little sour at the station around the corner there. He was pretty upset, and obviously he got over it, and we had a great time that weekend. But I think that was in 2023.
First year of the circuit, I think.
I think so. Yeah. So.
Since the S10's in the 650 class and not the tailgate class, are we gonna see Keaton versus Travis at Midnight Drags or what?
That dude's got like a 94 millimeter. Ain't gonna happen. This thing was going 9s on this beat up old turbo kit we had. Yeah, we nickballed it. Some Red Hat Scotty stuff deal. And then 69 73. That thing don't make enough power to go what Travis has got.
I know how I feel when I race your truck.
Hey, now if Travis wants to put some money down and he gives Keaton to the 330, I'm in.
Oh, well, it's interesting you say that. What if we just asked him?
Travis Wise, where you at?
Yeah, hang on just a second. We'll ask him right here. He's been
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So I know I've offered my turbo to Keaton. He can put a real turbo on that truck and come play.
I only got a T4 housing over there.
Hey, wait, he's offered me the turbo too, though.
That's weird.
And both of you are scared of it.
No, I ain't scared.
So shootout, midnight drags, Travis Keaton at the 3:30. You got to run him down to the 8.
No, absolutely not.
3:30
Huh?
after.
His case
Absolutely not.
for 10-0.
yeah, dude.
Can
He's
you
got
give
a pro
him-
mod
can
sitting
you give
behind
him-
him.
Can you give him the hit and the tire?
I'm gonna do more than that.
Nah,
Put a real fuel cell in that. Put a real fuel cell in the pro mod behind you and bring it.
Hey, all right. It's got enough fuel cell. I'll see you at maybe a Tulsa shootout or something.
Yeah.
We just gotta make sure your truck's even gonna be done. You're gonna have a class and you're not even show.
It's ready.
All right. So 200 feet.
200 feet.
Let's see. What's the truck run in the 8? 530s?
It's been 550.
Huh?
It's been 550.
550.
It's been
So if we did the math, let's see, three links, 3 car links. No?
No.
Why
No.
not?
Heads up.
Heads up!
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the tire and the hit.
Travis, I'll take you on heads up. Midnight.
All right,
drag.
let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Travis, thank you for jumping in. Also, thank you for sponsoring the tailgate class, dude. You're an animal. And for the folks that don't know, Travis also does the trophies.
Oh, yeah. Look at
So it's not me putting up the money for tailgate class. It's Revved Up Laserworks putting up the money for the class.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
my
yeah.
money. It's not my class.
But it was your rule idea, though.
yeah.
And it's awesome. I love it. We're calling it Joe Diffie. And
It was
we're
your
gonna
rule
play-
idea for 650.
It was combined.
Hey, now I will say these revved up Laserworks koozies are really nice. They do keep my Dr. Pepper cold.
Thanks, sir.
That's awesome. I see Fast Act Racing here asking if they can bring the Nova to the party. Sounds like we may get some fun times here for the midnight drags.
I ain't racing that Nova.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? I mean, we're going to have a good time, right?
If Travis will turn loose, I mean, I think that we could see some really good heads up stuff between you and the Nova.
Hey, that'd be fun.
Eighth mile stuff. I mean, I
That'd be
don't know
fun.
what your truck's gone quarter, but eighth mile would be fun.
Hey,
I only made like 3 8 mile or quarter mile passes in it.
You're gonna beat William?
Man, that little white truck's my kryptonite. I've lined up next to that thing 3 times and have not got a pass off next to him.
Oh. Well, you're going to have a chance to this year. The guys at Tulsa Raceway Park are ready. They said these guys haven't raced on a surface like this before. So, I mean, you have, just not with the circuit. It's going to be a good time. All right, Travis, we're kicking you off. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being backstage. Thank you for being a huge supporter of everything we do, man.
Have a good one, guys.
See you, buddy. Love that dude. He's awesome. He is awesome for sure. I was hoping we were going to get some more.
Travis.
Yeah, it has, man. September race week? If you even got to see him then.
we should have been
Oh, yeah.
Yep. This guy didn't, but
Yeah, Scotty couldn't make it this year.
Well,
You
it's
guys
okay.
won race week, so
I know.
we did it one time.
yeah, apples for oranges,
That's awesome. All right, well, let's get into some fun stuff here. We talked about kind of how the class works. We talked about how you get to pick your own thing. You put $50 up, you get to write your thing. The question I think I want to know is what number are you guys putting down? Not everybody at once now.
This picture's got a 634 and a 637, so I think they both got some work to do.
I'm gonna let the dude's gonna tell me what to dial the car in on this thing, and I'm probably not gonna listen, but let's hear what he thinks.
Well, if you're going 640, 670, we're down 640.
Well, there you have it.
I'm gonna turn the boost controller off and go 670.
See, that's just sandbagging over there.
Yeah.
I would never do such a thing. It's probably going to be a 40.
Yeah. So Red Hat Scotty, he's going to do a 640. Keaton thinks a 640, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
No, I honestly, Dave, I think I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to slow it down.
yeah.
I'm going to go
How?
like between
It's gonna-
665 and 670. That's where I'm going to head, somewhere right in there.
Interesting. Why? Why would you? I mean, if you went faster like every day last year, why would you do that?
Because I can turn the boost controller off and not really worry about it.
Mm.
Sandbag.
Go on.
I've been trying to tell you guys, this guy sandbags at all these events. And
Go on
here's-
like wastegate pressure and just let it run what it runs.
We don't run a lot of boost anyway.
The interesting thing is that we're going to do this first, like out of the gate, right? So as people begin to make their passes throughout the day, this could be a fun thing, because if they've dialed in 650, like Dustin Peterson and Abby Larson, they both went 5.0 something, 5.01 and 5.03, I think, something like that last year. So, if they've got those cars dialed, now they may have to run a 57 if
Yeah,
somebody
the
runs
best part is you don't know until the driver's meeting. So you can't go out, say if you're down in
Yeah.
I don't know, good weather, and you can be testing unlike us up here. But
Yeah.
you can't be testing for 640 because you already know the dial. Well, you don't know until the first day. So
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it to you. This is going to be fun. I'm nervous on explaining it to everybody and somebody not catching it, till the end of the day when they go to turn in their 650 and, actually it's a 657. They're like, what?
Yeah. And I think that's something that, we can explain to.
Yeah.
I mean, at the driver's meeting, one of us, can,
Yep.
I guess before the driver's meeting, we draw our chip, what it is. Everybody puts their money. And
And then the same thing, Eric and I are, we've got plans to the week of to begin kind of reiterating, hey, this is how this class is going to work. It's going to be imperative for you to be at the driver meeting. Don't just walk off.
Scotty, did everybody hit it? Red Hat Scotty, driver's meeting.
Well, he was working on his car last year. We can't fault him for that. He was trying to make the first race.
That's
I was
true.
still within speaker range, though.
Yeah.
I heard the driver's meeting. I think that counts.
Yeah, it worked.
It's Jeff all time anyway.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, too, Michael, is if you're a guy that, if you look at it last year, those 650 guys were like right there, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it gives a guy that might run a 670 normally, actually give him a chance to say, hey, this class is 667. Man, now I have an opportunity to, to take home that trophy and things if that's something you desire or whatever.
Yeah, the bragging rights.
Yeah.
You got the spot at the circuit.
Yeah,
Like, that's pretty big,
To say I got this great trophy, made by, revved up Laser Works, and be able to take it home with the genius idea from Red Hat Scotty, Keith Maxson, and the dude over here. I mean, who wouldn't want that trophy though? I mean, you think about it.
Right? Yeah, sorry. I'm looking here to see. So Jared Aspergen ran a 6500 on day one. Abby Larson 6503 on day one, and then we didn't have a second pass on day one. 651 from Keaton Maxson, 6515, and then Dustin Peterson 6517. So I mean, this class is competitive. 6501 for Dustin Peterson on his second pass, 6506 for Abby. I mean, there's a lot of 650s, and really Dustin Peterson won the class, but I mean, dude, he laid it down. It was a good time. Yeah, 651, 650, 650, 651, and a 6527.
Far up since then, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think Dustin's stepped up since then. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if he wants to, turn that controller off and come play with us again.
I think he signed up for Street Race Small Block or Street Race Power Adder this year.
Yeah.
In the car, looking to go into the mid 8s.
How many cars do we have in 6? We'll say 660-ish.
What the
650.
660-ish?
Yeah.
Oh, for last year?
This year signed up roughly.
Oh, gotcha. Hang on, I'll pull it up real quick. I think it was like 17 or something like that the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got 14 on this list, but I don't have I haven't updated the wait list stuff. That only includes, that's just people that made the cut. That's not anybody that's on the wait list. So 14, I think I had 17 the other day. So, I mean, this is going to be a big class. It's going to be something that's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, no, it will be. It'll be good. I'm excited for it. You know, opportunity to raise some more money, and you know, just go and have another really good time with them. You know, I mean,
Yeah. Let me see what Dustin signed up for this year.
I have to get a chain on my wheels this year. I don't want them to go missing.
Right? Yeah, he's in the street race power rider class. So he'll be taking on some heavy hitters. Brian Acton and Jay Blanchard returning for another run at winning the class again. They ran like a 8:51 last year as an average and just, man, murdered it. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. All right, what else? What haven't we talked about? Red Hat Scotty, what car are you bringing? You bringing the black car? Let's run through some of these photos. Show everybody what's up.
Yeah, so the current plan is the black car. I'm in the middle of an engine rebuild. One of our mutual good friends, Matthew McCrary, MRE, McCrary Racing Engines, did me a short block. Obviously, I got some brand new Brian Tooley Racing parts that are going into it. And so that'll be my car. But actually, the news of this is the dude is going to be racing this year. His Fairmont is about 90% done. We got to do a trans swap on it real quick. So I may be needing a co-pilot this year, boys.
Oh, well, speaking of co-pilots, Danny Diesel, if you're home, let's do this. He's watching from Thailand right now. He said, y'all are cute. Miss you, Red Hat Scotty.
Miss you too, Daniel.
Yep. Hopefully he'll be here he may be home then. That may be something we can handle. Yeah. Hit him up for sure.
yeah. So Scotty's got a sandbag because he's gonna have this new BTR, big old,
fresh.
stage 4 turbo cam, fresh motor, from MRE Motorsports. Shout out to our buddy Matthew McCreary and what he does over there. But yeah, I mean, so he now all of a sudden he thinks, he's going to go
Slower?
60. Yeah, it doesn't work. You're supposed to go faster, bro.
Man, Ollie, take the wheel. I'm good.
Lance Drager.
That was Jesus take the wheel.
Lance Drager, you got to get in. We got to hit that boost cut for him again and let him freak out. There's a picture in there somewhere that I sent where Lance Scotty thought he needed some help at Flying H or something, and Lance put some power to that thing, and he hit the boost cut, and Scotty was like, "Oh man, what happened?"
It popped and it stopped.
Yeah.
It popped and it stopped.
So yeah, it was a good time.
That's awesome. All right, well, guys, listen, 50 days, man. Are you ready?
50 days.
Sort of. I just put new belts in there, so we're good to go. Got those from Stroud at PRI.
Nice.
And then we found a leaking lower radiator hose. We're going to fix that. So that's not a big issue. But changed the oil with Schaefer's oil. And then threw new gear fluid in it. Just kind of went over it. And I haven't really done anything to it. It's honestly been parked in the other garage and just working on the car trying to get it ready. So
That's awesome. All right, so did we get it set up that Travis and Keaton were going heads up at Midnight Drags?
no, Scotty and Travis are.
Oh, Scotty and Travis. Okay, perfect.
I'll take Travis on at Midnight Drags.
Perfect. Well, for everybody that doesn't know, we are hosting a Midnight Drags, which is a heads up elimination style race within the circuit that'll be open to a bunch of other it's a regular drag race, everything from there, but I wanted to give the circuit folks something to kind of have some fun with, man. I mean, we really race for fun. We're racing for ET averages, all that kind of stuff, but this is going to be a way to race for some cash. So I'm excited. I hope it's warm enough to race at midnight in Tulsa in the first weekend of April.
Yeah.
Is the Midnight Drags open to the road trippers as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's open to
Okay.
anybody. I mean, there's been working with John Woolley to figure out which classes we're going to run. I mean, there's going to be like a tailgate, a daily driver, a small tire, big tire, all that kind of stuff, all those classes.
Yeah, I have somebody asking me right now about the circuit.
Nice.
Trying to answer some questions in the background here.
Yeah, man, the wait list grows every day. I think we're getting 1 or 2 a day on the wait list. And then the road trip has gained 3 or 4 a week average. And we're limiting it to 50 because I've never done anything like that. So it's going to be a great time. You start thinking about, I mean, you're looking at potentially 250 cars cruising around Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, that's like race week kind of shit,
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and King's never raced at Tulsa, so that'll be something.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited. I'm nervous about all of the trucks and trailers that we could get with the midnights, but man, think about how the pits will look with all of the drag and drive guys kind of in the front, because that's where we'll set up everybody there, and then everybody with their trucks and trailers in the back to do racing, and those cars racing each other. I'm pumped to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Well, y'all, what have we missed? Is there something we got to talk about that we haven't yet? No?
Waffle House, probably.
Oh, hey, we're doing that for sure. You can count on that. We're headed to Atlanta this weekend, and I'll be about 12 miles from the headquarters of Waffle House worldwide. So,
Are they going to talk me into being sponsored?
hey, listen, I'm working on it. I call them once a month.
All I gotta say is Chris Story cannot pick which Waffle House we go to. I say this a lot. I will say it again and next time. Chris, you're not picking which Waffle House, buddy.
There's one that's right by the host hotel, and we'll be eating there at least once, I'm sure, while we're close to Tulsa. And then I think there's one on our way from Joplin to Tulsa, but that's a different story. Maybe we can do some 2 a.m. Waffle House times. And then to talk to Chesney here, yes, the rules for shooting at Tulsa will be emailed out. Eric and I have that email put together, just haven't sent it to everybody yet. I've got to gather all those emails for media tomorrow, and I'll get that out tomorrow. So, yeah, wanting to get some shots if possible. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. And really, we're not gatekeeping the media side of stuff. We're just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page, has the logos, knows where everything's at, knows where you can shoot from, all that kind of stuff. So pretty easy from there. And I want to have a way to get in contact with everybody if we needed to. So,
yeah, I think that's what he's asking, is about the shooting locations for the track.
Yep, for sure. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. We appreciate you hanging out. Stay with me. We'll end the show, and then we'll talk backstage for 30 or 40 minutes, I'm sure, about fun stuff. So appreciate you guys coming on. And if you haven't done it yet, Questionable Performance Solutions is the YouTube channel that Red Hat Scotty runs and records and edits and does all the stuff for. So please watch that as well. All right.
Yeah, and Maxim Racing has one too, and we're trying to get there. Keaton's mom, Jill, is trying to get it up and going quicker, but it's Maxim Racing 02.
So. Awesome. Maxim Racing 02. All right. Watch that as well. All right. We're kicking you guys out. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Awesome. Dude, I'm telling you, we've had a good show tonight, man. It's been kind of fun.
Tonight's been a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. We've had a blast. All right. Let's do this thing. So next episode is a big one. I hope you guys are ready for this. The next up, let me drive real quick. We have Caroline from Youth Services of Tulsa, our charity for the circuit 2025. We have her on for probably 15, 20 minutes. It's going to be a good time. We're going to learn about kind of what they do, where they do it, why they do it. It's the longest running, I think, kids support thing in Tulsa. It's been around since 1969. So forever around. And this is a big deal. This targets kids that, so if everybody knows, young kids are probably the most helped within the group of children that gather help from states and stuff. Kids that are 14 to into their early adulthood, 20, 22, they don't get any help really. There's really not many places that they can go and get that kind of assistance. So I'm excited to be a part of of helping bring more attention to that as we can with this. Now, if you guys know yourselves, and like I am, my car, interest really took off when I was in my early teens, 10, 12 years old. So I think a lot of this is going to give these kids and young adults an opportunity to see people in a good light that are also automotive enthusiasts. So our goal is to raise $10,000 for that. We're already over $7,000. Thank you to everybody that has purchased tickets. AT Industries, big shout out to them. They donated $2,000 directly to the Youth Services of Tulsa. So she'll be on kind of telling what all they do. And then we're going to have Mr. Ed Enzer on. If you guys don't know who Fast Eddie Enzer is, you've been under a rock. This dude took a naturally aspirated big block Fox Body Mustang and ran into the 7.0s during sick week. It's the fastest naturally aspirated drag and drive car in the world, bar none. Nobody's ever run faster. Nobody's finished an event. Nobody's run a faster pass than him. So he's going to be on. And if you've ever been close to this car, it's a show car. There's no question about it. It is like one of the nicest cars you'll be around. And so he's going to be on kind of telling the story of, one, sick week, but then two, why do you do naturally aspirated stuff? Him and I were on the phone the other day, and he said, it's kind of because somebody just pissed me off. So imagine if somebody pissed him off and he liked turbos. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to talk about, why, how you end up in that situation. I know Jonathan Stonecipher's kind of always been our NA guy. So I'm excited to kind of have Eddie on to talk about his experience and why he chooses to stay naturally aspirated. And then we'll have Jonathan on very soon to talk about why he chooses and what, like what the future of naturally aspirated looks like, because Eddie has, obviously the fastest, but now, Doc McIntyre's built a brand new car. The Sweets are coming back with their car in Pro Street with like an 800 plus cubic inch Sonny Leonard setup. Like, it's fun, man. Naturally aspirated stuff. It's not my cup of tea, but folks like it. And hey, what's really cool is like you're only able to use what Mother Nature can give you. So that's going to be on episode 98, bro. How did we already get to into the 90s? Like we're going to be celebrating 100 here pretty soon.
Yeah, just a couple more weeks, so that's going to be super exciting.
Yep. Well, take us out of here, man.
Yep. So again, thank you everybody, all of our race car friends. It's been a great night tonight. Tons of comments. All kinds of people watching the show. You guys keep us going when we have long days of editing, just when life in general gets us down. All I got to do is pick up my phone and look on social media and I'll see a comment or anything from race car friends. Definitely just keeps me motivated. It's kind of one of those things where this feels like our purpose and you guys give us that purpose. So again, appreciate all of our race car friends. And again, we can't do this without all of our sponsors. Summit Racing, our brand new sponsor, Deechworks. We appreciate them coming on board. Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Sweet.